Hi, Ed here from keywordspeopleuse.com, and I've got an exclusive time-limited offer for you. If you book a product demo with Keywords People Use, I'll give you a free 7-day trial of our standard plan, which allows you access to our new content optimization tool. This tool hooks into your Google Search Console data so we can find all the keywords you're ranking for and what pages are ranking. We then crawl your site content and use advanced machine learning techniques like embeddings and cosine similarity to find you content optimization opportunities that will quickly boost your impressions and clicks from Google. This new feature in Keywords People Use is already showing results for people using it. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a 7-day free trial. Just go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo to book your slot. That's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo. You'll find the link in the show notes of this episode. Hi, Ed Dawson here. And as I'm a bit busy at the moment and need a break, welcome to another one of my Best of SEO is Not That Hard podcasts. These are the episodes from the back catalogue that I think have the greatest hits and ones that are still relevant and provide great value for you. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. Hello and welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. I'm your host, Ed Dawson, the founder of keywordspeopleuse.com, the place to find and organise the questions people ask online. I'm an SEO, developer, affiliate marketer and entrepreneur. I've been building and monetizing websites for over 20 years, and I've bought and sold a few along the way. I'm here to share with you the SEO knowledge, hints and tips I've built up over the years. Hello, welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. It's me, Ed, here as usual. And today I'm going to talk about how Google uses click data for ranking. Now, this is kind of quite a hot topic at the moment because of all the detail in the Google API leak of the past few weeks around how Google uses click data and clickstream data. Now, this is I'm going to talk about particularly how they use click data from the Google search results. And this is based on a Google patent called Modifying Search Result Ranking Based on Implicit User Feedback. Now, this is quite an old patent. It goes back to 2006. It's had many applications over the years, but it's a very current one. Now, essentially what this does is it looks at, describes how they can look at data from how people interact with search results to decide whether search result is a good search result or a bad search result, whether it should be boosted or lowered due to how people interact with it. And what they look at is the ratio of how many people click any given search result and whether they bounce back, essentially whether they come back to the search results and click another one. Now, they do it in a way that gets around, obviously, the big problem you would see looking at this is, well, everybody clicks results 1, 2, 3. We know that results 1, 2, 3 get loads of traffic and it slowly diminishes the further down you go. Now, what they do is they modify for this by, instead of just looking at the total number of clicks and saying which one gets the most clicks, that must be the best. They actually look at a ratio of long clicks to total clicks. Now, a long click is where Google measures the time between you clicking a result and coming back to it. So, for example, if you go to the search results and click position 1, you look at it for 2 or 3 seconds, don't like it, come back, then go to position 2 and read that one for 30 seconds, then Google's going to say, you've spent, 10 times as long on another page. It must therefore be a much more relevant result. So we're going to class that click as a long click. So what you need to do is essentially rack up good long views for your pages compared to the number of visits you get for it. So say you get, over a given time period, 50 visits. You want as many of those 50 visits to be counted as long clicks. So people spending good time reading your content rather than people, bouncing back and it being counted as a short click. So then even if the number one result is getting 20 times as many views as yours, if their ratio of long clicks is lower, say only half of their people get counted as long clicks on those clicks, as long views, then you get 3/4 of your views deemed as long clicks, then Google's going to start increasing your relevance as compared to the number one result. So this is all about Google monitoring how you react with results. And reading through the patent, they seem to bucket clicks into three. So that's, short, medium and long clicks. Now, there's no exact number necessarily for what is a short and a long click, because they talk a great deal about how all these metrics are query specific. So certain queries, by the very nature of them, which might be ones like, what year was George Washington born, for example, people are going to click that, go to an article, find it very quickly and come back. So what can be a long click for a query like that could actually be quite a short time period. Whereas if you're asking something much more complicated, like how does Pythagoras' theorem work, where, if you're going to wanting to learn how that works, you're going to spend a lot more than 2 seconds on a page. So long clicks for that kind of query are going to become much longer in relative to others. So they can obviously work this out for every query. So for every query that they do, they can start to watch and generate these metrics and then compare pages and how users react to them. And they say in the patent themselves that, the very best marker of relevance is how real use searchers interact with the results pages that they're given, the results that they go and look at. So that's why they're using this click data to sort of weight results in the search engines. Now, I will share a link to this patent in the show note, but there's lots of interesting information in there. So one bit is they talk about the information that could be gathered for each click could include the query, the document result that the user clicked on, the time on the document, the interface language, so what language the document's in, the country of the user, and additional aspects of the user in session. So you can see how they can basically say, well, if you're a user in a particular country in a particular language, then this document has a better timing, better time spent on it than the documents in other languages in other countries. So they can then specify it down to that kind of geographical and language level as well when deciding on how to use these weightings. They also talk about how they can distinguish between informational and navigational intent for results, and how they can sort of discriminate between them essentially. So for some queries which might have an element of informational and navigational intent, they can essentially say, right, well, we want to have a mix of informational and navigational results in the set, but we know that navigational results might have very quick response times compared to informational ones. So they can actually weight the document intent type when they're looking at this data. So this will prevent just purely informational, really dense results overtaking all query types. If in some query types, it's going to be generally the right result to have some short timing, pages which have short time on page, like the navigational ones, because they can appreciate that difference in intent. Now, this all ties in really well with the recent Google API leaks, specifically the last longest clicks attribute, which is held against documents. And this is to show that, this is a marker that comes up in attributes that's flagged when, you go to your query, you go to a page, you click it, you click to that result, and then you don't come back. You don't come back and click at the result. So it's eventually a really good signal to say, actually, this page really answered this user's intent, and it's obviously the relevant and useful resource for them. And that's like a really, really good marker, obviously. So how is all this useful for SEO? Well, obviously, it means, you've got to really think about creating articles, information that actually really answers the user's queries. It's really, really important to either give the person who's coming onto your page the right place to go next. So this is like a case of, okay, you've arrived on this page, and this is how we're going to answer your question, but here's all these other relevant documents you might want to go to. So if you can start someone's journey and answer all their questions rather than leaving them with more that mean they're going to have to go back and see if another page answers that better, that's a really good thing to try and work on. And, just be exhaustive if you can on the topic, This is why it fills in quite nicely with our philosophy at Keywords people use on basing your content around answering people's questions rather than just targeting volume keywords in a way that's kind of haphazard. If you're thinking about questions and answering them in full and answering related queries on the within your pages and any other pages that you link to. So, for example, like I mentioned in the glossary podcast that I did a week or so ago, where I said, it's really good to have a glossary so you can link to that terminology where someone reading who's new to your topic area and reading for the first time, if they come across terminology they don't understand, at least you can link to it, and it keeps them within your site rather than having to bounce back to the search results. So that could be a positive thing to do. So yeah, it does show the importance of answering a question well, rather than just trying to gain the click without worrying about whether you actually keep people on the site. So just gaining the click isn't going to help. What you want to do is gain the click and keep attention is the really important takeaway from this. So anyway, I hope that's been useful. As I say, the actual patent that relates to this is linked to in the show notes, so do go and read it. They can be a bit hard going, but just persevere with them because you can glean so much from them. Really recommend that. So anyway, until next time, see you later. Before I go, I just wanted to let you know that if you'd like a personal demo of our tools at Keywords People Use, that you can book a free, no obligation, one-on-one video call with me, where I show you how we can help you level up your content by finding and answering the questions your audience actually have. You can also ask me any SEO questions you have. You just need to go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo, where you can pick a time and date that suits you for us to catch up. Once again, that's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo, and you can also find that link in the show notes of today's episode. Hope to chat with you soon. Thanks for being a listener. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe and share. It really helps. SEO is not that hard. It's brought to you by keywordspeopleuse.com, the place to find and organise the questions people ask online. See why thousands of people use us every day. Try it today for free at keywordspeopleuse.com. To get an instant hit of more SEO tips, then find the link to download a free copy of my 101 quick SEO tips in the show notes of today's episode. If you want to get in touch, have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. I'm at Channel5 on Twitter. You can email me at podcast@keywordspeopleuse.com. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of SEO is Not That Hard.